All right, one of the craziest days of my life. I will say right now, before we get into anything, originally today, and I'm almost done recording, but I obviously had to take a break to talk to you guys here. I was going to have our first college football revamped rebuild. I'm just going to push that to tomorrow. I am in year 4 of 5. I only got like an hour or so left of time before I go to the hospital and we get to figure out what the gender of my, I don't know what you call it, expecting baby? I don't really know. So obviously going into today, I was like, all right, let's just focus on work. Let's not lack anxiety, excitement, every other range of emotion that I felt. Obviously, I've been through this before, but I know a lot of people out there that are parents. Y'all know when you're waiting to figure out if it's going to be a boy or a girl, there's certain emotions that come to it. And I was like, I'm just going to focus on the college football rebuild. And I'm going to do that to distract me until it's time to go handle business. And then, while I was waiting through the terrible loading times while you're simming within NCAA, I went on Twitter, and the Eagles have fired Doug Pederson. Now, I did get a lot of tweets saying C4 got what he wanted. This definitely was not what I wanted. However, and I can't actually edit this video, I would include the tweet. Check out my Twitter, @PapaXC4. But there was a news that broke today from Jeff McClain, one of the Eagles beat reporters. He's kind of like the clickbaity of them, but he's usually pretty solid with his information. He came in with a tweet that said, on top, because right now what we knew was Jeffrey Lurie and Doug Pederson were meeting in Florida for their second kind of exit season interview. And all reports were saying Jeffrey Lurie wasn't overly impressed with how Doug Pederson handled himself on the Tuesday after we lost to Washington. So he's giving him a second chance essentially today to say, this is, here's my PowerPoint of how I'm going to fix this team. Continue to employ me. And a report came out today that on top of promoting Press Taylor to offensive coordinator, Doug Pederson's coaching suggestions to Eagles owner Jeffrey Lurie had also Andrew Briner moving from pass game analysis to QB coach, promoting Matt Burke from DL coach to DC, or bringing back ex-Philadelphia defensive back coach Corey Unland back as our defensive coordinator. I will say right off the bat that reading this, it sounds like Doug wants to get fired. This is 100% like, fire me. I'm gonna give you such a bad short list of how to fix this team. Fire me. But acting in, if this is truly what Doug Pederson thought would save his job and truly what he thought would turn this team around, let's just break it down. Moving Press Taylor to offensive coordinator. Now, first of all, the biggest issue with the Philadelphia Eagles is we continually don't hire prominent positions outside of the organization. Therefore, you continue to have that, the biggest issue with teams that win the Super Bowl is you get stuck in that rut of that post-Super Bowl drought where it's like, well, we were a Super Bowl team. Let's not change too much. We know if we get it right, we can get it back there. Same idea, same scheme that won us the Super Bowl. It will bring us back. Clearly, for the last at least 2 years, the Philadelphia Eagles have been lacking innovation. They've been lacking intuition. They've been lacking creativity. And it's literally, you saw with Will Parks. Will Parks, when he got cut from the Philadelphia Eagles, made a very I'm not going to say cryptic, but kind of cryptic tweet saying, it's not 2017 anymore, is what he said when he got cut. It's 2021, which basically means to me, and that's Will Parks. That's a diehard Eagles fan that just got cut from his favorite team saying, this is a building, this is a team, this is an organization that is stuck in the past. And this offseason was about how can we build for the future? How can we kind of hit reset from the coaching staff standpoint? Because from a salary cap standpoint, we're pretty hampered, right? Not a lot of salary cap there. And Doug Pederson just literally is like, all right, our new offensive coordinator. We're not going to look through the college ranks, try to bring up a flashy college coach. We're not going to look at Pep Hamilton. We're going to look at Press Taylor, the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback coach. So from a coaching standpoint, he is the face of Carson Wentz's development or regression, and Carson Wentz is coming off maybe the harshest regression I've ever seen from a quarterback. So not only should this guy absolutely be in the hot seat for getting fired, he's getting a promotion to offensive coordinator. I don't know who this Briner guy is, but then you look at the defensive side of the ball, bringing in a defense corner. Matt Burke, our defensive line coach, he used to be the DC for the Miami Dolphins. I have a buddy who's a dire Dolphin fan, said, when we hired Matt Burke on as a DL coach, get him as far away from play calling as humanly possible. He was not a good DC whatsoever. He got a job here in Philadelphia because he was buddy-buddy with Jim Schwartz. And you want to hire that guy? as our defensive coordinator. Corey Unland, who was our former defensive backs coach when we were the worst secondary in the NFL, maybe we can give him a benefit of the doubt that the talent wasn't the best. But also, he didn't develop anybody, didn't develop Sidney Jones, didn't develop Rasul Douglas, didn't develop Ronald Darby. You know, Chandon Sullivan got cut. He went on. He's now a solid, serviceable starter for the Green Bay Packers. So literally, the worst, like, Doug just had to watch my video. Just watch my video, come up with a PowerPoint with the names that I mentioned. Even if you can't land them, it would have kept him a job. So I do think, taking a step back here, that if this is truly the work that Doug Pederson showed to our owner to say, I want to turn it around, I do not buy that. I buy, if this report is true, that he was doing everything possible to get fired. I don't know if there's something in his contract. He gets more money if he's fired. You know, there's a lot of reports and rumors that maybe Philadelphia will be in the market of trading Doug Pederson. But it still sucks. I mean, Doug Pederson brought us the best period of being a Philadelphia Eagle fan. He brought us a Super Bowl. He did it with Nick Foles. He did it Philly. Like, he's an icon. He's going to be an iconic coach. And the fact that really this was his first bad year. Even though the other years have been incredibly underwhelming, and you could even argue the last couple of years that we've, kind of scurried and just limped into the playoffs, that there was issues with those teams, and those playoff appearances kind of masked and covered a lot of the issues, but it's still a playoff appearance. So it does seem, if you're just looking at it from an outside looking in, very harsh for Philadelphia. Just 3 years ago, we won the Super Bowl, and we made the playoffs 2 of the last 4 years, something like that, for this move to happen. But, there comes a point in time where you need to make a bold decision. You need to make a bold move. And I really do wish that if you're dropping this bomb, that Doug Pederson is no longer a member of the Philadelphia Eagles. Howie Roseman, he's not going to get fired, but you say Howie Roseman's this, and Dorsey, I don't even know his first guy name, Dorsey from the Browns, who's been helping the Philadelphia Eagles as an advisor. Even if he just came in and said that guy's going to be our general manager, or head talent evaluator, or involved in personnel, that'd be a big win. So Doug being gone, though, I mean, it's not what I wanted. I truly, in a perfect world, Doug Pederson would have taken a step back like Mike Tomlin for the Pittsburgh Steelers and just be like, I'm gonna control running this team, but I'm gonna have an OC, I'm gonna have a DC that are important, and they're gonna run their own units. I'm gonna just kind of oversee everything, right? Make the tough decisions. And obviously he didn't want to, and I feel like maybe he's married to his scheme, which I mean a lot of offensive head coaches are. But, seeing Doug's reluctancy to look outside the building post Frank Reich, I don't know if there's something there where he's slighted, that everyone just says everything was down to Frank Reich, and since Frank Reich's left, it's been a failure, and he shown by the Press Taylor and shown by the Mike Groh signing that he doesn't really want any outside ideas. He truly believes and will ride or die with Doug Pederson's offensive scheme and doesn't want anyone touching with it, doesn't want anybody messing with it. And maybe that's the downfall, but I mean, we'll look at where Doug Pederson's going to go. A lot of people think maybe the Jets. I think that's interesting. Obviously, there's a relation there with Joe Douglas. I don't know how well of a relationship there is with Joe Douglas, but I do think Doug Pederson will quickly bounce back as a head coach somewhere. I think you probably don't want Doug Pederson with a young quarterback. I'll say that. I think what we've seen with Doug Pederson's development of Carson Wentz has not been great. The development of Jalen Hurts was as is. You could have took Jalen Hurts halfway through the college football season last year with Oklahoma. You would have got the exact same thing with the Philadelphia Eagles this year. They didn't really see a lot of development of Jalen Hurts, but Doug can work wonders with a veteran quarterback, or Darnold for whatever it's worth. So I think the Jets definitely make some sense. If Detroit is trying to keep, and they're going to hold on to Matt Stafford, Detroit can make some sense. I think Doug, culture builder, potentially. I know a lot of people think that he tarnished Eagles culture by tanking Week 17 and all that stuff, and I don't know how much that comes into play for this decision, but I think Detroit, the Jets would make sense. I think, not the Chargers. I don't think I want to go with the Chargers. He might ruin Justin Herbert. Not Jacksonville. It seems like that's going to be Urban Meyer territory. But yeah, I think Detroit or the Jets make a lot of sense, and a lot of people are talking about the Jets. So, inverse, how are we going to finish the video? Who's going to be the Eagles' next head coach? And again, we de facto do a video I made not too long ago when the uncertainty was there for Doug Pederson. I mean, especially looking at the names that are getting thrown around. I would say right now, Arthur Smith from the Tennessee Titans is intriguing. Now, his offense kind of got rolled in the playoffs, but the work that he did with Tannehill is enough for him to absolutely deserve an interview. I think I'd be willing at this point to go somewhere like Joe Brady. I mean, I've talked about Joe Brady before. He does feel like he's a guy that's a year or two away from being a head coach. I don't know how well he's going to interview because obviously being a head coach is a massive step up from a first-year NFL offensive coordinator. But let's be honest, Joe Brady, out of any OC in the league, even above Arthur Smith, has like that high ceiling of like, he's what, 32, 33, fits the mantra of a Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay. I think Philadelphia is bold enough. We saw it with the Chip Kelly hiring, is bold enough to kind of buck the mold and look at a Joe Brady. And I think while Arthur Smith has a little bit more experience, while Arthur Smith would be maybe more safer of a hire, and I'd be happy with that hire, I think. I think I would personally, at this point with the Philadelphia Eagles franchise, knowing that the salary cap and Carson Wentz, knowing that the stability is not here, I think it'd be like an opportune time to give like Joe Brady a 3-year deal. And either it's going to be an absolute shit show, Joe Brady's out of his depth, and Carson Wentz can't be revived. But this is going to be a very, very rough 3-year period for the Philadelphia Eagles where we're not going to have a lot of salary cap. We're going to be tied with Carson Wentz. So I feel like the risk with Joe Brady kind of fits where we're at as a roster. So that'd be my top hire. Obviously, there's other names you could consider. You got Pep. I think Pep Hamilton, even though he was only a QB coach, I think Pep Hamilton would be deserving of an opportunity to interview for head coach. Definitely do not go defensive mind for a head coach. Even though I think it would be badass to have like Robert Saleh as a head coach, because I do think the mentality that he's going to bring kind of could rub off like Mike Vrabel in Tennessee. But the top priority is still fixing Carson Wentz. So unless someone that's a defensive mind like a Saleh comes in and says, I want Pep Hamilton as my OC, or someone like that is an OC hire and a coaching staff that's clearly going to be set up at least to salvage Carson Wentz, I don't really foresee much of a defensive mind. But I'm sure there's going to be a couple more Eagle videos popping up from my channel as rumors and all that stuff seem to leak for the Philadelphia Eagles. Let me just check Twitter right now to make sure I didn't miss anything crazy. I don't know. I don't see any other reports from this. After speaking with two people close to this is Ian Rappaport, close to Doug Pederson, it sounds like it boiled down to Doug Pederson was sick of people telling him what to do. That makes sense because he will not get out of his own way. I'm not surprised with that. So definitely, guys, let me know in the comment section below if you're happy with this as an Eagle fan, if you're worried about it, cautiously optimistic. Let me know in the comment section below. Definitely let me know what head coaching candidates you would love Philadelphia to interview over the next week or so. Are you on agreement with me? Arthur Smith is interesting, but Joe Brady could be the risk that matches the reward, or anything in between. Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. Lincoln Riley? Huh? Urban Meyer? Could Philly make a late swoop to bring in Urban Meyer? Until he starts having some headaches when Carson Wentz sucks 4 weeks into the season? Let me know in the comment section below. Hopefully we get some good news from the gender reveal. Hoping for a boy. If it's a girl, we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure I'm going to be happy. I'll be happy eventually. Girl dad. Hashtag girl dad. But come on. Give me a brother. Give me my son a brother. Let's go. But I'll see you guys back here tomorrow with an episode of the NCAA College Football Revamped Rebuilds. I'll see you then. Peace out.